Creating videos like Iman Gadhzi is easier than you think, and in this video we'll be creating something that looks like this. You can also download the free project file by heading towards the first link in the description. Now, I have received tons of messages asking how to create this same effect that Iman uses in his videos all the time. If you watch his videos, you will see this effect in action in literally all of his animations. Here's how the effect that I created looks. And I will tell you exactly how you can create this exact same effect without any plugins so you can become an Iman Gadhzi editor. Let's begin by creating the shape layers. Editing like Iman may not be as easy as it seems, and some of you might already be aware of that. Here comes the first rectangle shape layer. You don't need to be extremely precise, you can use your own creativity. However, since this is a tutorial, I'm recreating the content. I'll adjust the roundness, perhaps to 26. As for the color, I'll just use the dropper, and we're good to go. Add a drop shadow, set the distance to 0, and softness to around 60 or 59. There you have it. Your very own Iman-like rectangle shape. Now we'll create the other shape layers using the exact same method. Save time for you guys. For the text, Iman uses a mix of both bold and thin letters. We'll do the same. Select the text, highlight the text you want to customize the font for, and make the change. It's that easy. Now that we're done with the shape layers, it's time for the logos. Let me download them quickly. Alright, we got the logos and they're ready to go. The color might be a bit off. I'll use the change to color effect from effects and presets. Select the from color from the color you want to change and set to color to the desired one. Play with the change settings, and now we have something that is similar to Iman's. Let's import the other logos as well. Okay, I've got the logo for Python, but I could not find the yellow logo for PHP. We'll use the change to color effect again to adjust its color. And there you go. I think we have achieved something similar. Now it's time to animate all these layers. To do that, press S on your keyboard, add a keyframe on scale. Go to 2 seconds and add another keyframe. Go back to the first keyframe and set the scale to 0. This is a crucial step when it comes to editing like Iman, the graph. Without the graph, achieving an edit like Iman is like impossible. You can't really do that. Select the keyframe and press F9. Move the handle to the left so the animation starts fast and ends slowly. I'll adjust the keyframes. Now duplicate the same layer and press P on your keyboard. Add a keyframe and skip to the keyframe of scale. Now this is essential for those smooth dynamic animations you see in Iman's videos. You will see what I mean. Move the text slightly. Now select all the shape layers and logos. Press P on your keyboard and add a keyframe for position, moving them down a bit. This is the secret to Iman's smooth, snappy and dynamic animations. Having the same graph for all the animations. Select all and play with the graph. For this one, I'll use the graph that looks like a mountain. Move both handles closer to each other. Perfect. Now move the duplicated shape layer on top of the text and set the track matte to shape layer 2. Do this for all the shapes. For the logos, move them 2 to 3 keyframes away from each other, and voila. We have a nice looking animations. Now it's time to animate the second tab. I'll pre-comp this one and create a new composition for the second tab, naming it tab 2. I have pre-downloaded these icons from Flat Icon. Make a rectangle and adjust its roundness. Give it an off-white color and add a drop shadow with the distance of 0 and softness of around 33. I'll make all the shape layers in the same way. Now that I'm done with the shape layers and adjusting the icons, it's time to animate them. Go back to main composition, set a keyframe for position tab 1 and move it up a bit to make space for tab 2. We'll smooth out the animation for this one as well. Now I will import the tab 2 into the main composition. Adjust the position and put a keyframe on the position for tab 2. Create a shape layer to cover the bottom of tab 1. Make sure the fill for the shape layer is turned on, otherwise the track matte won't work. Set the track matte for tab 2 to shape layer 1. Move tab 2 down. Select the keyframes, press F9 on your keyboard and adjust graph editor's handles. I'll readjust my composition for animation, and there you go, we have got a nice looking animation, and I think we're going good so far. Now select all the layers and pre-compose them. I'll name it Chrome. Select this cube, click on it to make the layer 3D. Press P, Shift S on your keyboard, go to 1 or 2 seconds and change the orientation as per your liking. Move the tab behind and adjust the position. Select the keyframes, press F9 and move the handles closer to each other. Now for the second tab, since I'm not a coding geek, I could not find a proper coding role. I downloaded a YouTube video of someone coding, and for the sake of this tutorial we'll use it. Sometimes you only need the idea. I'll drag it into my composition, renaming it to Coder. I'm not sure why I did that. I'll mask the layer to achieve the perfect shape that I want. Make it 3D. Set a keyframe on position and orientation. Select all the keyframes together, and you know the secret to smooth and snappy animations. Go to the graph editor and move the handles closer together. I'll create a new composition naming it upper box. Draw the shape layer and I'll draw the circle and the check mark. Write your text, highlight the text and make it light. Select congratulations and make it semi-bold for a similar look. We will animate this. First, select shape layer 1, go to contents, rectangle and unlink the size. If you try to do it by unlinking the scale, it will mess up your shape's roundness. Trust me, you don't want to do that. Put a keyframe on the size, go to 2 seconds and put another keyframe. Drag the playhead to the beginning and set the size to 0. Oh, I forgot to put a keyframe on the position too. My bad. Drag it up. Adjust the position, select the keyframes, press F9 and drag the handles closer together. We've got a nice looking animation. Time to animate the circle and the tick. Open the shape layer properties, select contents, go to trim paths and put a keyframes on end. Skip a few frames, put another keyframe, go back to the first keyframe and set it to 0. Do the same for the second shape layer. Take a null object and parent the precomp 1 with null. Put a keyframe on the position and move the position of the null upwards. Now adjust its position. Select keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor and move the right handle closer to the left handle. We've got a snappy animation. Now to expand the shape, go to shape layer 1, contents, go to rectangle and size. Press P on your keyboard for position. Set the keyframe for position and size. Skip 1 to 2 seconds and put a keyframe. Bring the shape layer down a little bit by playing with the value of size. Select the keyframe, go to the graph editor and move the handles closer together. Now create a new composition. I don't know what to name it, so I'll just call it tab. Draw a shape layer and adjust its roundness. To make my life easier, I won't look for a clock icon. I'll just draw it here and skip through the self-explanatory stuff. Now draw a straight line and change its color to light gray. Go to shape layer, click shape 1 and select stroke. Set the line cap to butt cap. Duplicate the shape layer 3 times. I'll duplicate it 1 more time for the colorful line on the top. And I'll pre-compose the lines under as lines PG. To animate this, change its color. Open the shape layer properties, click add and add trim paths. Put a keyframe on end. Skip a few frames and put another keyframe. Go to the first keyframe and set the property to 0. Select both keyframes, press F9 and move the handles closer together. Set the end size to something like 90 and drag it upwards. Adjust the position and do the same thing for the other 2 layers. Alright, I'm done with the adjustments. It's time to animate all of them. Create a shape layer for the stroke. Now it's time to animate. I'll adjust its position, press P on your keyboard, put a keyframe for position, skip 1 to 2 seconds and put another keyframe. Drag the layer down a little bit. Select the keyframes and press F9. After playing with the graph editor, we have this. Now put the playhead on the first keyframe of the tab. Open the composition, select all the layers and put a keyframe on position. Go to the second keyframe and put a keyframe on position again. This is just for the smoothness. Select all the keyframes, press F9 and animate the graph editor of all the keyframes together for a snappy animation. Now put some gap between the keyframes around 2 to 3 frames. And we have a very cool looking animation. Now I will go to the main composition and import the upper box for the animation. Select the coder and chrome layers, press P, Shift R and Shift S on your keyboard and set a keyframe for position, orientation and scale. Move a few frames and put a keyframe. Now adjust the position and scale properties. I think it's better. Select the keyframes, press F9, open the graph editor and move the handles closer together. Now it's time for our little box. Now it's time for the sauce. Final effect that you have been waiting for. Create an adjustment layer, go to the effects and preset and search for posterize time and set the frame rate to 18. Search for turbulent display and set the amount to 1.5. Duplicate it and set the amount to 35 and size to 2. And there you go. Here is the final result. Now, if you like the video, you know what to do. In the next video, I'll be showing you guys how you can have 100% close rate with your clients. I literally have 100% close rate for the trials I do for my clients. And I will be showing everything to you guys for a small fee of $3,000. I'm just kidding. I'll be giving it to you guys for free. So you may consider subscribing. Anyways, I'm out.